Late-night stage. The lights of Hollywood glowed against the night sky, and inside the sleek studio of the Evening Pulse, the air crackled with anticipation. The show, hosted by charismatic comedian Ryan Caldwell, was a late-night juggernaut, blending sharp humor with celebrity charm to captivate millions. On this particular evening, the audience was buzzing, their cheers echoing as the house band kicked off the show with a lively riff. Fans had packed the seats, eager for a night of laughter and star power. The main guest? Marcus Vega, a beloved actor whose decades-long career had made him a household name. Known for his quick wit, gravelly voice, and unpolished authenticity, Vega was there to promote his new film, a raw drama that had Oscar buzz. But what unfolded that night wasn't the scripted spectacle anyone expected. It was a clash that shook the studio, stunned viewers, and sparked a firestorm of debate. The setup: a star under pressure backstage. The mood was tense long before the cameras rolled. Marcus Vega arrived at the studio that afternoon, his usual charisma dimmed. Crew members, accustomed to his warm banter, noticed he was quieter, his jaw tight. Vega, at 62, was a veteran of the industry, with a resume spanning comedy classics to gritty thrillers. His latest role, a haunted detective, unraveling a city's corruption, was earning raves, but the press tour had taken a toll. For weeks, journalists had fixated on his personal life, rumors of a strained marriage, a recent health scare, ignoring the film he'd poured his soul into. Vega, a private man despite his public persona, was fed up. Sources close to the production later revealed Vega had vented to his manager in the green room. "They don't care about the work," he'd said, pacing. "It's all gossip, headlines, clickbait." His team tried to calm him, reminding him that the Evening Pulse was a friendly platform, a chance to reach fans. But Vega wasn't convinced. He'd done Caldwell's show before, trading playful jabs with the host, but this time felt different. He wanted to talk about the film, its themes of redemption, its complex characters, not rehash tired stereotypes, or personal drama. The tension escalated during the pre-show briefing. Producers, aiming for a viral moment, pitched a comedic segment. Caldwell would tease Vega about his reputation as a short-tempered legend, referencing old stories of on-set outbursts. It was meant to be lighthearted, a nod to Vega's larger-than-life persona. Vega's response was ice cold. "I'm here for the movie," he said, his voice low, "not to be your punching bag." The producers, caught off guard, insisted it was just fun, part of the show's vibe. Vega didn't budge. "You want me out there? We talk the film, or I'm gone." The room fell silent. No one had seen a guest push back so hard before taping. Unaware of the full extent of Vega's frustration, Ryan Caldwell prepped in his dressing room. A seasoned host, Caldwell thrived on steering interviews into memorable moments, balancing humor with heart. He'd been told Vega was a bit off, but shrugged it off. They'd sparred playfully in past appearances, and Caldwell assumed they'd find their rhythm. His team had prepped questions about the film, but also suggested dipping into gossip, a tabloid story about Vega snapping at a reporter to keep things lively. Caldwell, confident in his ability to read the room, figured he could handle it. The show begins. A fragile start as the show went live, the audience roared. Caldwell bounded onto the stage, his grin wide, launching into a monologue that skewered the day's headlines. A politician's gaffe, a viral internet feud. The crowd ate it up, laughing on cue. After 10 minutes of quips, Caldwell paused, his eyes twinkling. "Tonight we've got a legend in the house," he announced. "Please welcome the one and only Marcus Vega." The applause was thunderous. Vega strode out, waving, his smile practiced but strained. He wore a tailored suit, his salt and pepper hair catching the stage lights. For a moment, the earlier tension seemed to fade. He shook Caldwell's hand, settled into the guest chair, and the interview began. Caldwell started safe, asking about the new film, City of Shadows. Vega's face lit up as he described his character, a broken cop wrestling with guilt. "It's about finding light in the dark," he said, his passion clear. "I spent months researching, talking to detectives, living in their world." The audience was hooked, leaning forward. Caldwell nodded, letting Vega shine, but his instinct for humor soon took over. He pivoted, tossing out a question about Vega's early career, referencing a rumored on-set prank involving a stunt gone wrong. It was a veiled nod to the fiery persona the producers had wanted to highlight. Vega's smile vanished. He leaned forward, his voice sharp but controlled. "Let's stick to the movie, Ryan." The audience tittered, assuming it was part of the banter. Caldwell, sensing resistance, chuckled and pivoted back to the film, asking about Vega's co-stars. But the shift had landed. Vega's answers grew shorter, his warmth fading. The studio's energy dipped, a subtle unease settling in. The spark, a line, crossed 5 minutes in. Caldwell tried to regain momentum. Hoping to lighten the mood, he brought up a recent tabloid story, a supposed outburst at a press junket where Vega had clashed with a journalist. "So, Marcus," Caldwell said, grinning, "you've been making headlines off-screen too. What's the real story there?" It was meant to be playful, a chance for Vega to laugh it off. Vega's eyes narrowed. He cut Caldwell off mid-sentence. "Why are we talking about that?" he asked, his tone biting. "I came here to talk about my work, not some made-up drama." The audience stirred, murmurs rippling through the crowd. Some thought it was others sensed real friction. Caldwell leaned back, his laugh forced. "Just keeping it fun, Marcus. You know how it goes." "No, I don't," Vega shot back. "I know I spent a year on this film and you're asking me about gossip. That's not fun. That's lazy." The room went quiet. Producers in the control booth froze, their headsets buzzing with urgent chatter. Caldwell, usually quick on his feet, looked rattled. He tried to pivot again, asking about the film's director, but Vega wasn't done. The actor leaned forward, addressing Caldwell directly. "I told your team before we started. No personal digs, no cheap shots. You ignored that." "Why?" the audience gasped. It was a rare moment of transparency, pulling back the curtain on the show's mechanics. Caldwell's face tightened. He glanced at the crowd, then back at Vega. "We're just having a conversation, man," he said, his tone defensive. "The audience is here for a good time." "Then respect them," Vega said, his voice rising. "They deserve better than recycled rumors and tired jokes. I'm here for the art, not your headlines." Some audience members clapped, others sat stunned. Phones were out recording the exchange. Social media was already lighting up, though the real explosion was yet to come. The breaking point. A walk-off. Caldwell, now under pressure, tried to salvage the segment. "Let's take a breath," he said, forcing a smile. "We'll come back after a break and keep this rolling." Vega shook his head, his expression hard. "I'm not here to be your prop," he said. He stood, all 5'6" of him commanding. The stage. The crowd gasped again. "I came to talk about something real and you made it a circus." Caldwell, caught off guard, tried to interrupt. "Marcus, come on, let's talk this out." But Vega was done. He unclipped his microphone, dropped it on the chair and walked off the set, his steps deliberate. The audience erupted, some cheering, others booing. Caldwell sat frozen, his charm shattered. The director, scrambling, cut to commercial, the band's music jarring as it kicked in. The cameras caught Vega's back as he disappeared backstage, a moment that would soon go viral. Backstage, chaos reigned. Vega's manager met him at the exit, urging him to reconsider. Vega was calm but resolute. "I'm not playing their game," he said, heading for his car. Crew members watched in silence, some admiring his stand, others stunned. Producers rushed to Caldwell, who was still on set, visibly shaken. They debated cutting the rest of the show but decided to limp through the next segment, a comedian's stand-up routine. The audience, buzzing with adrenaline, barely focused, their phones glued to the unfolding online storm. The fallout, a cultural flashpoint. When the show resumed, Caldwell addressed the incident briefly. "Well, that got spicy," he said, his laugh hollow. "Live TV, folks." He avoided naming Vega and moved on, but the damage was done. Clips of the confrontation spread across platforms, racking up millions of views. Hashtags like @Edding Vega Walks and O Caldwell Clash trended with fans and critics picking sides. Some praised Vega's authenticity, calling him a hero for rejecting media sensationalism. Others called him oversensitive, accusing him of tanking a promotional opportunity. The next day, Vega posted a short statement online. "I went on that show to share my work, not to feed a machine that thrives on distortion. I respect my audience too much for that." The post went viral, amplifying support from fans who saw him as a truth-teller. Detractors, including some entertainment pundits, dismissed it as a tantrum, but the debate only grew. Caldwell's team issued a vague response. "We aim for engaging, respectful interviews. Sometimes things don't go as planned." The show's online clips omitted Vega's segment, fueling accusations of a cover-up. The film studio, sensing an opportunity, leaned into the buzz, releasing new trailers that highlighted Vega's raw performance, tying it to his real-life passion.